All right, I think we are live.
We are live. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Mesdames et messieurs, this is Michael Mataloni. He's going to help me do this presentation, which I've been working a lot on. I hope you're going to enjoy this. How are you, Michael?
I'm fantastic. I'm really excited today because one of the things that we've been really trying to figure out is how do we simplify photography to the point that anyone can master it? And how do you create your own style? How do you build your own portfolio? So I'm kind of on edge. I'm so excited for this presentation. And something I just wanted to mention, folks, just tell us where you're from. Say hello. Tell us where you're from real quick. And make sure you turn off any notifications that you have on Facebook or Messenger because we have a lot to cover today. Please take notes. We're going to be doing a live Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions whatsoever during this presentation, make sure you take a note because we can answer your question live.
Yes, we have a lot of people joining. I see Eric from UK, Jay from Indianapolis. We have so many people joining. Rafi from Israel, Ellen from NJ, New Jersey, I'm guessing. Mohammed from Kurdistan. They all people from all over the place. This actually should also be live on my YouTube channel. I don't know if it's working. I'm trying a new option to have this live on my YouTube channel. We'll see if it works. In about a minute to two, Richard is going to tell me, my assistant, if it does work.
And even though this is being streamed live, this is going to your private group on YouTube. So this is, if you're in here, if you're in Webinar Jam with us right now, we're actually going to be able to answer your questions live. We're not going to be able to do that from YouTube as easily. So if you have questions at the end, make sure you stay here and watch from here because we can make sure we get your questions answered.
Yeah, I actually see the live on. I do see the live on YouTube, so that's good. That's good. I'm excited, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I'm going to get this started right away. I'm going to share my screen. Tell me if this works. I'm going to share this screen, and then I'm going to go to my presentation, and boom. Tell me if that works.
It works.
Okay.
Actually, it's just showing the first slide. It's not showing, or it's showing the first two slides. It's not showing.
Oh, it's showing the first two slides. Oh, yeah. So I actually shared the wrong screen. So let me see if I can correct that. Yeah, that's. I'm going to turn that off. Turn it back on. And so yeah, that's this screen. And now, boom, boom.
Beautiful.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, this is exciting. I have been wanting to do this for a long time. This is my first presentation like this. So it is how to become a pro fine art photographer without going to college, years of training and endless rejection, which believe me, I got a lot of rejection. If you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed with your photography, put these fears at rest. College photography programs want you to think you can't have a career in photography or create an extraordinary portfolio without them. It's not true. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to spend $20,000 a year if you want to be a successful photographer. I'm the proof of it, and I'm going to give you many examples. It's a lot more simple than you think. If you ever thought that a college degree is a waste of time and money and it doesn't support your goals, you are probably right. I'll show you how to create an extraordinary, unique portfolio that will help you get noticed and make money doing what you love. College is great for connections. I think the way they teach photography is not completely up to date, and I don't think it's the best use of your money, or you will see why. My goal in this masterclass is to help two types of people. Those who want to create a standout portfolio. You want to have your own way of expressing yourself as an artist, okay? Without spending years and tens of thousands of dollars on school, Like when I go on Instagram and I see all these masters that I follow, without even looking at the name, I can see that this is like a Joel Grime photo, a Scott Kelby photo, Matt Kluskowski photo, an Eric Almas, a Trey Ratcliffe, Annie Leibovich. I can see like without even looking at the name because they have such a strong voice. They have such a strong portfolio, and that's what you'll see. I'm going to get more into this later. Or if you just really want to create an effect, if you want to get your art in galleries or get published in magazines or books, create an effect as an artist. This is for you. The best way for you to create a standout portfolio and make doing what you love, not in months, not years, is through photography mentorship. I've learned through photography mentorship, having somebody behind your back helping you is the fastest way. And that's why I created something called the Serge Ramelli Institute of Photography, which I'll introduce you to. Creating art is my passion. I love taking photos. I mean, if 2 days goes by and I don't go take photos, I'm really sad. Currently, and that's the part I'm bragging on, my art is in over 100 galleries around the world through the Yellow Corner Network. That's actually their main gallery in Paris, which is a beautiful building. I've now published 7 coffee table books. I do one a year. I started 7 years ago with first my Paris black and white book. Then I did a New York black and white. Then I did my first color book, which was Venice. And then I did Los Angeles in color. Then I did New York again in color. In New York, books are completely different. They are not the same photos in the black and white, completely different. And my number 7 book is Barcelona. My number 8 book is going to be, if everything goes to plan with COVID, is going to be Roma. I've also done 15 technical books, and I've been published now in over 1,000 magazines, mostly through my books and gallery work or my tutorials. Many magazines around the world, including the cover of the 2019 California, which was the cover of my book. It's a very, very big magazine. Actually, I have it right there that I did. So that's the part where I'm bragging. But let me tell you a little bit of a backstory. Maybe that's going to, reflect something in your life or not. I've been a salesman most of my life. I did some coding early on, but I was a salesman most of my life until about the age of 35. I was making great money. I was productive, but I was not happy because ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. And I discovered that money is not everything. If you don't do what you love, it's kind of hard. And I had such a passion for doing art. I really felt my life was going to go by and I was going to be like 70 years old and I wouldn't have done anything trying to make a living. Because I think if you can work out a solution to make a living with your art, you can just do more art. So it's really cool. So it is important to make money with photography because then you don't have to do other jobs. You can just focus on what you love. So at 35, I started working with photography after going on vacation with a friend who showed me Photoshop. And I realized that with Photoshop and a camera, I could create. So I was the vice president of my brother's company. We were selling websites to hotels. But I was, as I said, I really felt something was missing in my life. And when I discovered Photoshop, I said, maybe I can try that because I'm in Paris. We were always in the nicest part of Paris. Maybe after work, I can start taking photos. And I started learning, and at first I just bought books and things, and it didn't really go really well. This is actually some of the first sharp photos I took like 15 years ago. I was still working as a vice president for sales, and after work I would go and take photos of Paris. These photos are really bad. I'm really sorry. This is the Louvre. I was kind of happy because it was the first sharp photos I ever took. And this is the Quai de Seine. This is Sacré-Cœur. And I remember, in the company we were working with, I was taking care of the sales, but we had photographers. We had 3, and one of them was like a kind of a little star. And I started showing him these photos of Paris by night that I just showed you. I was so happy about it. And he says, yeah, but all these cars are black. It says, showing me photos. He just shot the week before in Morocco, like golden hour, which I've never heard what a golden hour was. Blue hour. I didn't know what a blue hour was. Sunset. I knew what a sunset was. And I said, yeah, but if I had to take just this moment of lights, I would have taken just a photo at sunset. It was like 5 minutes. I stayed up to 2 o'clock in the morning taking photos. And he looked at me and he says, welcome to the world of photography. And, I realized, he started mentoring me, and I realized that the important thing is, getting the right lights, the right moment of light. So I said, that's my first sunset. It's awful. It's bad. It's noisy. It's underexposed. I didn't know how to use my camera so well. This is my first golden hour. Really bad. So I went back to shooting daylight photo. I was kind of bored, But then I started doing monitoring. I started doing workshops. I started... went to Photoshop World. I did a lot of training and a lot of mentorship, and I started to become way better. I understood how ND filter worked, and over the next years, I started building this really cool portfolio about Paris. Paris by night, but with some details and skies. I came back 12 times to get a photo of Paris by night where there was such a clear night that I could get something in the night, And I even go now into landscape photography. So I really realized that all the mentors I got and all the workshops I've done really helped me, save me a lot of time. I was married very young. I had my daughter Marine, and I remarried when I was 28. And Karen, my current wife, she had 3 young boys. So we went from 1 kid to 4 kids. And I needed to provide a lot for my family. And that was my main issue because I was the vice president of the company. I was making about 10,000 euros a month, which was good. I could provide to my family, but I wanted to be an artist, And so I went to see my brother. I said, okay, look, I really want to be a photographer. This is really what I want to do. And he said, you know what? And so that's 2008. That's 12 years ago. I started having a good portfolio about Paris, 2008, 2009. He says, you know what, I'm going to sell the company and you've helped me build this company, so I'm going to give you a chunk and that should give you enough money to become a photographer. I was like, okay, cool. So he says, stay 1 more year, be with me as a salesman and let's do it. So I stayed 1 more year with him. And then a year after he says, the sale didn't really work out. Stay 1 more year. So I stayed 1 more year and I love working with that company. I love my customers. My brother is a genius. It was a great company, but I really wanted to be a photographer, but I didn't know how. How the heck am I going to provide 10,000 euros per month for my whole family, mortgage, 2 houses and everything? And so finally in 2010, my brother says, look, I'm sorry, I'm never going to sell. I mean, not now, at least for now. So you got to find a different, another idea on how you can go about this. And by then I had a crazy idea. I decided to take my destiny into my own hands. And I was working in the business of hotels. I was selling websites to hotels. And over the years, I became friend to some very, very powerful and wealthy hotels. And they were renovating the room. So I went to see 4 of my biggest customers. I said, look, I need about $150,000 to be able to stop being the vice president of this company and become a photographer, because it's really what I want to do. I want to have some cash advance. And would you buy some photos from me? I will redecorate like big photos and I'll make a profit on that. And, they were making millions of dollars of renovation. And 4 of them said yes. And I actually sold $150,000 of art to hotels. Basically big photos of Paris they would put in the room. And then I went to see my brother and I put somebody to replace me. And I said, look, I'm going to go and take my venture in my own hands. Now I had $150,000. I was ready to be a full-time photographer and I could still provide for my family. But I had connected with some other friends that were trying to produce a movie, and I really love movies. I still want to be a movie producer, a director. And basically I lost all the money in about 2 years trying to produce a movie with some friends that turned out to be not so much friends, to be honest. I lost everything. It got so bad that I couldn't make mortgage payment anymore because all the cash that I'd burned, I was doing a bit of interior design photography, trying to get by. I was doing some fine art. I was still, in love with Paris, taking lots of photos. And so I was in trouble because I literally couldn't pay my mortgage. And but then I had this idea. I was like, okay, I started doing my YouTube channel. I wanted to share, a lot of people were asking me like, how do you take your photos of Paris? So I did my YouTube channel just to help people. That's the only reason. I was not thinking about making money. And it took off right away. Back in 2011, the YouTube channel just grew very fast. I went very fast to 100,000 subscribers. It was really, really cool. But I was really, really worried because I was going to lose my house. And I had to go back to, a regular job to be able to provide for my family. So I launched the YouTube channel, and I have a strong belief that if you follow your heart, miracles can happen. And what I'm about to tell you is a complete miracle. It's crazy. Like even when I'm telling a story, I'm even not myself believing it. But here's what happened. So I was about to lose my house, and I was really, I burned all the money trying to produce that movie. It didn't work. And Yellow Corner, in case you don't know what that is the biggest art network in the world. They have galleries everywhere. In Paris at the time, they had like 10 galleries, one in the Louvre, in front of the Louis Vuitton store in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. I mean, you're talking prime location. And somebody had given me the email of one of the owners of the galleries, and I kept writing him, and he answered to me once saying, I kind of like what you do, but send me more photos. And I kept sending him more photos, and he would never respond. But now I was really in a corner because I lost all the money, and I didn't want to go back to a regular job. So but I had this idea. Actually, somebody suggested that idea. I looked at his YouTube channel, and he only had like 4,000 followers at the time on YouTube. I mean, the whole gallery had 4,000. I had 100,000. Or maybe 150 at the time. So I wrote him an email, said, look, I just passed 150,000 followers as a photographer. I'd love to help you to get your social media up or something. I said something like that. And I'm not kidding. This is how the story went. So I typed the email. I pressed enter on the keyboard. Within about 10 seconds, 20 seconds maybe, my phone rang. And it was the owner of the gallery. Because it was a Paris number. I was like, ooh, who is that? And it was the owner of the gallery because I gave my phone number. And he said, come over, let's have a coffee. We had a coffee, and he said, okay, fine. You know what? I'll take 3 photos from you. I'll put that in the gallery. We'll see how that goes. Okay, fine. And I knew, because I heard from people working with them, that you need to at least have 40, 50 photos if you want to make a decent living. So I was kind of happy, but not that much. That's not the miracle. A week after, he calls me and says, I looked at your stuff, and we've always wanted to do books. We're looking for a publishing company that we could co-publish with. I went to school with a guy from Flammarion. It's a big publishing company in France. I'm going to show them your work. Maybe they will want to co-publish a book with me. Because, we have all this space in the galleries where we could sell books. I was like, I would love that. So that's the start of the miracle, but it gets so much better. A week after, he calls me and says, I spoke to Flammarion and they actually really love your stuff. And I was really on the verge of I was borrowing money from France trying to just pay my mortgage. And he said, I forgot one thing that's very important. When I resigned from my job, my brother was creating a new structure. He wanted me to be part of it. It was a huge deal, but I had to give up my job. And it was, believe it or not, it was the share where we're going to be worth, and today they're worth much more, but they were going to be worth $3 million in 2 years. So I had turned down that $3 million offer because I had $150,000 that I wanted to be a photographer, So I was starting to regret it. I was like, shit, I turned down $3 million and here I am. I can't even pay my mortgage, Anyways, so he says, look, Flammarion wants to make a book with you. They're really hot about it. Let's go sign the deal next week. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And again, that's not the miracle. So I was like so happy. I was getting prepared. We were going to go sign the contract. And 4 days, I think it was on a Tuesday I was going to sign a contract. And on a Friday, or no, it was on Wednesday, like 6 days before, this is the miracle. I get an email from a man I've never met called Hendrik Tenhaus. He's passed away a few months ago. Great guy. He sent me an email saying, I love your work. I want to make a book about Paris. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. Well, it's crazy. But I'm about to do one with Flammarion on Wednesday. We're actually signing on Wednesday. He says, no, you don't understand. It's like, we are much bigger than Flammarion. You got to do it with us. I said, yeah, but I'm working with Yellow Corner. He says, what is Yellow Corner? I explained what Yellow Corner was. And he says, but they should co-publish with us, not with Flammarion. We're much bigger. And I was like, really? Yes. He said, really? You got to convince them. Look, I'm going to fly to Paris, and I got to meet these people at Yellow Corner, and I will convince them to co-publish, and we'll do a book together. So literally 2 days after, I organized a lunch between the two owners with the second owner that I've never met, and Hendrik Tenhaus, and two of his staff. They flew from Berlin, and we're in Paris. It's an incredible lunch, and they're getting along so well, and they decide to do like co-publishing, but just not me, like 100 photographers. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And as he stood up for dessert, Hendrik Tenhaus looked at me and said, oh, by the way, we want to make 2 books, not just Paris and New York. Can you make New York? And I said, yeah, no problem. I've only been 4 hours in New York by then. Only had 5 photos in New York. I said, yeah, no problem. I had no idea how I was going to pull off the book, but I said yes. After that lunch, and this is where it got crazy, after that lunch, the owners of Yellow Corner looked at me and said, who are you? This guy flew from Berlin with 2 of his executives to, so that we would sign a deal with you for the books. You know what? We're going to take 40 photos from you and not just 3. And in about a week time, they gave me a great money advance. and I started having 40 photos in the gallery, and I was out of trouble. I could save my house. I didn't have to sell the house, or I didn't have to go back to do a work I didn't want to do. And why is it a miracle? Well, believe it or not, here's the truth. In the last 15 years, this is the only time a publisher ever contacted me to make a book. And it was between the Wednesday and the Friday that I was going to sign the book. It's like you have a house on sale. For 2 years, nobody wants that goddamn house. Nobody wants it. And the day somebody wants it, somebody else wants it. And they just go on a bid war. That's exactly what happened. If that email would have been a week before, it would have not created the same effect. It would have been a week after. It would have been disastrous because I would have to turn it down. But it was the perfect timing. And up to this date, it is the contract that made me the most money over the last, since I'm born. And it just came because I followed my dream, and I, despite turning down $3 million, and I am not kidding, I know it seems crazy, but money is not everything. I'm much more happy today doing what I love, and haven't done 7 books, and now I've got 70, photos in the galleries. So now let me talk to you about the pièce de résistance, the photo search Institute of Photography. This is something that I if you're serious, if you're like me, you want this to be your life, even if you don't want to make money, but you just want to create that effect as an artist. You see how this applies to you. So I was stuck in a job that did not fulfill my passion. I did love sales, and I love working with my brother's company. It was a great company, but it was not what I really wanted to do as a being. I gave up, believe it or not, $3 million to fulfill my goals. And, I still have not done $3 million in photography, but I have no regrets, because I get up every morning knowing that I'm just going to take photos for a book, for a gallery, or for teaching on photography, which is amazing. I wanted to get an artist. I really, I've never been, I stopped school very early on. I stopped school at the age of 13. I didn't go to the Beaux-Arts, and I didn't go to college, but I still wanted to make something with my art. How to get on social media. Today I have over 1 million followers on my art. And I love to teach with people. Nothing blows my mind more than seeing one of you guys, getting better at photography and doing what you love. My biggest pride is people when they quit their job and they become full-time photographer. I just love hearing these stories. And let me show you how. I'll give you an example of Jakub Bors. I met Jakub years ago. He was the community manager for 3 4-star hotel in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. And he's like me, passionate about photography. He says, I discovered Serge on YouTube more than 3 years ago, and in the days when I was completely lost with my old camera, and as I didn't understand the complicated language of photography. All the books and advanced videos made me feel that all of this was way too confusing for me to understand. Suddenly, the bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, came out of the speaker, and this funny French guy, thank you, started to describe photography using everyday language and using project as his way to teach photography. Now I have worked with companies like 500px, Trivago, Miro, and Airbnb, while photographing almost 200 of their properties. Actually, today, Jakub has quit his job. He's not anymore in the Isle of Skye. He's based in London now. He's done the institute, and he's doing a lot more money now than he ever was, although he was taking care of 3 4-star hotels as a community manager. I'm selling fine art all over the world. I have a fantastic community of followers on my social media and around me. Finally, to answer my own question, someone like Serge Ramelli can make an incredible difference in your life as long as you're ready to listen and learn. See my work. You can check him out at borsphoto.com. Amazing guy. So, guys, today I'm going to give you 3 secrets, 3 things, 3 tricks. Secret number 1 is how to stand out in a sea of competition. And secret number 2, how to sell your fine art photography. And secret number 3, how to get noticed on social media and online. So secret number 1, how to stand out in a sea of competition. Some photographers might think, I don't understand how private photography mentorship will help me stand out. Well, let me explain you why. Basically, most of the people that come to my workshop, I'm sorry, the camera is out of focus. I don't know why, but okay, fine. Maybe I'm going to move this around. Okay, cool. Most of the people that come to my photography workshop are people that have been doing photography for many, many, many years. Some 30 years, some their entire life. It's very rare that I get a beginner photographer to come to my workshop. Very rare. And often what I'm struck with is that they're making a mistake. They're doing something with their art that the way they capture the sunset, the way they capture the sunrise, they were making some kind of mistake that they spent all this money doing all this very expensive trip, and they're not getting the photos that they want. And so what I do is that I take the photo with them, and then we sit down together and we retouch it. I make sure that they have the correct settings on how to capture it, and I make sure it's done probably right. Once they've done this a few times with me, they got it. They know exactly how to get the essence. The next point is to work on composition. The key is you got to create a beautiful and consistent portfolio. That's what I said in the beginning. If you guys on Instagram, all people making, I know I met once an agency that was representing 10 photographers. Every one of them was making over $1 million of gross as a photographer. But they had a voice, they had a strong style, and they had a very specific way of doing their post. And so if you can be mentored by somebody who is going to look the way you take your photos, look the way you retouch them, and say, no, try this or try that. I always look at the exit data, see how the photo was taken. You will learn 10 times faster than just watching videos on YouTube, my videos or other videos, because now you just been pinpointed to exactly what is missing. You can say, I don't understand how private photography mentorship will help me create a unique portfolio. I can tell you, I have done some sessions with some pro photographers that mentored me back in the day. And in 10 minutes, I've learned more than watching 8 hours of videos, because they can show exactly what's wrong with your photo. And whatever you want to do, I'm not trying to get people to do photography like my photography, which is very sort of epic, but natural at the same time. I've kind of gone away from the HDR look. But I see so many people making basic mistakes in the post-processing, wrong colors, too much halos in their photos, wrong clarity, wrong way of sharpening the photos, wrong composition, underexposed, overexposed, HDR when it's not needed. So many mistakes I see every day. And so private membership, I can be with you and correct, because I'm sure you have a lot of things but maybe you're just missing a few things to really 10x your photos, So the way I do this is I'm going to review with you all the basics of photography, and I'm going to give you assignments you have to do at home. It's a step-by-step coaching program that I'm giving you, where some of the stuff you have to do at home, some of the stuff you have to do and send me the photos, and I'll tell you if you did it right or not. And we go into the whole basics of really capturing the right light. You're really doing the HDR the right way, really getting that sun the right way, really, post-processing. And it goes very easy at first, and it gets harder and harder and harder. In total, you get 11 hours of never seen video. You get 33 exercises that you get the feedback on. And voila, and that's going to help you build a portfolio that's really, really going to work. Now, how to sell your fine art photography? It's, I know a lot of people says, I'm not so good at sales. Well, let me share you a little quick story. I moved to Los Angeles about 6 years ago, and the first day I walk into Los Angeles, a buddy of mine says, why don't you come and meet me at the Griffith Park? It's a great view of LA. I arrived there, and as I was parking my car, I looked on the side and I see this incredible sunset of Los Angeles. I couldn't even park. I got up, there was nobody in the street. I took the photo. I knew exactly how to capture the photo by hand without a tripod. I posted up on social media without even thinking about it. 6 weeks later, Nike, the art director of Nike, calls me, says, hey Serge, I saw your photo you took of the Los Angeles Griffith Park. At Nike, we're doing the Fuel of Summer Nike, whatever that was. I had no idea, I don't know. And we want to buy that photo for, would you be okay if we give you $2,500? We're just going to use it as a small JPEG for 3 weeks on the homepage of Nike. I was like, sure. But he says the problem is that, to work for Nike, you have to become a Nike official photographer. So I got a 40-page contract for you to sign so we can give you the money. I was like, I'm totally fine on becoming a Nike official, And then as we talked, I asked him, I said, but why did you pick that photo? Why did you pick me? He says, I'll give you a secret. And listen to this, guys. He says, you know how I know somebody's a pro and somebody's an amateur and, a beginner or intermediate who is not like the real deal on photography. He says, because at Nike, we don't want to buy Shutterstock photos. Big companies don't want to buy. We hire original photographers to do stuff. We don't care if it's cost $30,000 to do a photo. We're not going to buy a $20 Shutterstock or Adobe Stock photo. We want only original work. And so what we do is I use Google Images, and when I find somebody, the way I can tell a professional, one, has very little photo on his website, and two, they're all spectacular. It's a strong portfolio, you can tell. Amateurs, they're gonna have 2-3 great photos, 5 average, 10 not so great, and lots of photos. So amateurs, lots of photos, pro, very little photo. And that reminded me, this agency that I met this guy. So he was Jim, he was a designer I work with. He designed a website for an agency that was representing 10 photographers, each one making $1 million. Each of the photographer only had 10 photos to put for their portfolio, only 10. They were not allowed to put more, and they were each $1 million photographer. And it really, that day changed my life. It really hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember this story where Scott Kelby was telling that when he does his portfolio, per category, he only puts 20 photos. And if he wants to add one more, he has to take one down because he doesn't want to have too much photos. So sometimes he does survey on social media. And he says, when you do that, even on social media, you have such a strong voice. And so this is hard to do for Instagram because Instagram, you're supposed to feed the beast all the time. But this is important for your own website. If you go to my website, sergerameliphotos.com, you'll see I have very little photos and I only post my best work there. And by the way, when you start having a good portfolio, same thing happened a few months ago. I shot this photo 12 months ago. I sold this photo for almost $5,000 to a tea brand. They were making a poster, and I shot this with a Canon 5D Mark II 12 years ago. But they came to my website. I had very little photo. It was Mazarine, a very famous agency in Paris. And I'll tell you the story. They asked me for a price. Says, how much would you sell as that photo? And I was like, this photo, come on, I shot this like 12 years ago. It's Canon 5D Mark II. I had no thoughts about it. I was going to tell them $500. But I deleted my line. And no. Okay, what's your budget? And she answered about 4,000 euros. I said, okay, fine, 4,000 euros, that'll do. And so that's like almost $4,400 these days. And again, because I have this portfolio, because I'm on Google Images, because if you have to have a website like SlickPick, for example, which is very SEO friendly. If you put all your stuff on Instagram, you're never going to appear on Google because Google and Facebook are not good friends. They don't do good indexing of Instagram. So it's very important to be on Instagram, but it's very important to have a website. And I fully recommend SlickPick. I'm actually an ambassador of the brand SlickPick to make a portfolio. So I know some people is not interested in making money with photography. I have a lot of people which are like lawyers, retired. In fact, 2 of my students were billionaires. I had the honor to teach photography Lightroom to the creator of MySpace, Tom Anderson, and Michael McKenzie. I've helped teach him some Photoshop stuff. He's the owner of the Chicago Bears, both billionaires. But they still want to create an effect. They still want to get published. They still want to get their photos in their office. Very good friend of mine is the owner of the Smith's restaurants in New York. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's definitely hundreds of millions of dollars. And in his office, he has these incredible frames where he displays his photos that he takes, and he wants to get better. I think the role of an artist is to share his beauty. So whether you want to make money or whether you don't want to make money, this is for you. Because the idea is I want to help you being a portfolio where when you go on social media, people go, oh, this is a John Blow photo. This is this guy's photo. Okay? This process will work for anyone who wants to create beautiful and get that noticed, and get noticed. I'll tell you, I every day get about 30 to 40 people writing me saying, oh, check out my website, check out my Instagram feed. And what I just covered is not there. They have lots of photos. Some are really good and actually go and comment them, but some are really average, and you can tell they don't know how to put out a consistent quality work. So secret number 3, how to get noticed on social media. So one thing that's very important is you got to play at least 2 games, Instagram and Google Image. Google Image, I explained to you, you need to have like SlickPick, WordPress, Wix or Squarespace works fine too. I think SlickPick is way better because it's really made for a photographer. But anyways,
You gotta have, so you can put every photo, you don't put too much photo, but the photos each have a title, a description, a little comment. You will see Sneak Peek as a feature. So they're gonna appear on Google Images. Most of the job that I get is either from Google Image or from Instagram. And the only way to be there on Google Image is really to have, HTML friendly website. So again, Sneak Peek, WordPress, Squarespace, Wix is all good. Now, when it comes to Instagram is a very peculiar beast, and I get a lot of inquiries on Instagram. But also, if you start having a consistent voice, a consistent portfolio, and you're blowing up on Instagram, you can go see any newspaper, any gallery, any book. Like if I go and see a gallery now, I can show them I got 1 million people following me. I said I can get people to come to your gallery, which I do all the time with Yellow Corner. I drive people there all the time. Do you want to work with me? They say, of course I want to work with you, because they need business. Today, time is rough for galleries. It's rough for publishers, because with everything being online, people buy everything on Amazon, or they don't go to galleries anymore. They need your help to get people to go in the galleries and buy your work. So I'm actually now over 1 million followers in all social media, but 700 is just, actually, this is really an old figure. Anyways, you get the idea, whatever. Now, you might think that you don't know how to overcome all the technical details of building a social media following. Recently, I met 2 photographers. One has got 1.4 million followers on Instagram, and the other one's got 800,000. And they are not genius at social media, but they are genius at portfolios. Their art, their voice as an artist is so strong and so consistent that they blew up completely on Instagram. Social media is the fastest way to get noticed. If you want to be successful as a photographer and in your social media in 2020 and 2021, it's going to be hard. But let me give you a few tricks on Instagram, some things I've learned along the way, because I made the huge mistake. I wasn't even before Facebook bought it, but I was not posting regularly. I didn't really think anything of Instagram. Didn't really care. And what a mistake, because it took me like 5 or 6 years to go from 0 to 5,000 subscribers. And now, and then 2 years to go from 5,000 to 117,000 subscribers, doing what I'm about to show you. So this really applies if you're like finished the institute, or you really have like a level of photography. You're proud of your photography is at the level of your mentors, and you're there. So first is post only your best work, and this is what I'm going to help you if you come with me on my workshop, because I'm going to help you do your best work so you can post your best work. And the next thing is post every day. So you need to take lots of photos, and you need to know what you're doing with your camera, so you consistently have a lot of work. I go shoot 3 times a week no matter what. And I always have hundreds of photos ahead of me to post on social media. Hashtag. So this one is a little bit tricky. And if you come on the Institute, I'll give you a little more detailed thing on it. But the basic idea is this. You use about 6 or 7 hashtags, which is about the photo. So let's take the first one, for example, on the Louvre. I would say, so what's about the photo? It's a black and white photo, hashtag black and white, hashtag pyramid, hashtag Louvre, hashtag Paris, hashtag sunset, hashtag lamps. Voila. So that's hashtags about the photo. The next thing is to find feature account, and I go a lot more detail in the coming up video on the Institute. Feature account are people which are not creating their own Instagram. What they are doing is they're taking photos from other people with their authorization, and they are featuring on their Instagram. Some of them have million followers, and it's a very fast way to grow. So you have to, let's say you're a wildlife photographer in New Jersey. Well, find some good feature account for wildlife all over the world. And usually they'll tell you it's either a hashtag or an @ to use. And so I made, and I'll show you that very much in more detail if you join me on the Institute. I made a document where I find all the feature account per category, like, Paris photo, New York photos, wildlife, portrait, whatever. There's a lot, actually. Most of the most powerful, groups on Instagram are feature accounts. So it's really something big. And the other thing is I use this app, and I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any money from them. I wish I would. If you work with Preview, let me know. Preview is an app you can find on the iOS store, Android store. That's the logo of the app that helps you harmonize completely your feed. And I go a lot more detail on that on the Institute. So, and you got to harmonize like at least 12 photos at a time. And that's the logo of the app. It's called Preview.
And also make lots of stories. I find that making stories is something that really helps get your account reels. Today it's reels and stories is good. So guys, I hope you are enjoying this webinar so far. I hope this is going well for you. You're learning a few things. I really want you to have a strong portfolio, and I really want to work on this workshop with me, this new workshop I'm going to do online. So we've covered how to stand out in a sea of competition, getting the best possible portfolio, how to send in front of photography, portfolio, social media following, and it all comes down to portfolio. I mean, if Monet was not Monet and didn't do what Monet was, he would never be the painter. Vincent van Gogh, he didn't sell much while he was alive, and now he's the most sold or the most valued painter in the world because he's got an amazing bodies of work. And all the big artists have an amazing bodies of work, but you need to find your voice. And the way to find your voice is to have the basics done cold. You should know post-processing like this. You should know Photoshop like this. You should know composition like this. You should know exactly. And that's what I want to cover in the Institute. The PhotoSurge Institute of Photography, complete photography coaching and certification. Yes, sir. I want to help you. And if you really work hard at it, to create a standout portfolio that gets you noticed in less than 60 days without years of school, technical training, and endless rejection. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a master's in photography from from somebody whose work is in over 100 galleries and done 7 books, which oh, by the way, I heard this morning that to be a teacher at the Beaux-Arts in Paris, you need to have had, as an artist for 10 years straight, being able to make a good living. I've now done over 10 years, making a great living as a fine art photographer. So I guess I qualify to be a Beaux-Arts teacher. Anyways, but that's kind of what you're getting. So the idea is to build a portfolio, to get a feedback on every photo, and to get a certification. Rene Siebring was my first graduate. He says, 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to switch my career entirely. I'd been successful working as a project manager for 20 plus years, but wanted to do what I'm most passionate about, photography. I did some workshop in the Netherlands and my photos were okay, but that was about it. And then I came across the courses of Serge Ramelli. This turned my world upside down. In his online courses, Serge taught me how to use Lightroom and Photoshop to lead the attention to what was important in the photo. During the course, Serge and I went through a lot of my photos and Serge commented on them very honestly. This helped me a lot. On the photos that were good, Serge explained what was good about them and what worked well in the shot. For the photos that were not that good, Serge explained what was not good about them, what could be improved, and what I should definitely not do anymore. During the course, we retouched our own photos and Serge coached us in a very pleasant way on how to improve the photo even more by adding some lights, using a mask, dodge and burn some parts in the photo. This helped me take my photos to the next level. Serge knows by looking at a photo if it is good or not, and how it can be improved. He has a pleasant and clear way to explain this and help me to improve my photography in a lot of aspects. And Rene was my first graduate of Master of Photography from PhotoSurge. And you actually get a physical diploma when you're done with the workshop. Liesl Walsh, he completed 2 weeks ago. Serge Ramelli training has made a huge impact on my growth as a fine art photographer. After teaching art, my dream was to pursue a career in photography. I took courses, but it wasn't until I discovered Serge on YouTube that my eyes opened to a whole new level of artistry and editing. I watched a lot of his tutorials to increase my skill in Lightroom and Photoshop. His tutorials are easy to understand and fun to watch. I recently graduated from his PhotoSurge Institute of Photography, where he mentored me. His coaching has helped me to create a much stronger portfolio that has gotten attention from local and out-of-state businesses. It has brought my work to a professional level where I'm now making a living doing what I love the most. I'm selling my photos locally and nationally, getting published in magazines, and I've created images for glass art museums and Raymond James. Serge training really works. His coaching helped me fulfill my dreams of making a living as a professional photographer. Well done, Liesl. She just got her diploma. So this has worked for photographers who want to create a stunning portfolio, photographers who want to make money doing what they love, hobby photographer who just wants to attract more attention, photographer who wants to get a professional certification, and if you want to get noticed on social media. Some people say I cannot afford a photography certification. Some of it are very expensive. Some workshop goes for a lot of money. I try to make this, because it's online, a lot more affordable. the Photo Search Institute, which has a $2,999 value, and that's not what you're going to pay because you're watching this. You're also going to get an exclusive interactive forum with me to work directly with you to achieve your goals. You see, I had to go through years of trial and error to create a gorgeous portfolio, but you won't have to because you will be directly working with me and my team to build a standard portfolio in months, not in years. This is going to make it faster and easier for you to build a portfolio because I've streamlined the training to be interactive and simple. You might think that college classes might be better. That's not true because college costs tens of thousands of dollars and will not guarantee an extraordinary portfolio that's sent out from the crowd. So the Photo Search Institute Community, that's the place where when I give you an assignment, you post it, I answer it, you can see what others are posting, and you can see what my answer to this. And so you're going to get the Institute itself, you're going to get the forum where you can do all the exercise, and in the Institute, I'll give you 3 final exams. One of them is you got to take the most perfect cityscape, the most perfect landscape, and portrait with flash photography, and what I call environmental portrait. And you redo it and you redo it until technical flow. It can be your voice, it's fine, but there should not be any technical mistakes. And it's there to help you express yourself as an artist. So the total value is $3,798. You also get, so I'm going to go also online where once a month, where it's more about the business and the coaching and how to get into galleries. You actually, I'm actually creating a new line of photography called Serge Ramelli Photography Presents a month's Yellow Corner, the biggest art gallery, where I will pick some of the students to get their work in galleries. I've already got 22 students accepted with the galleries. I had to go through, I got rejected so much time at the beginning of my photography. And I just want to guide you so that you just economize years and years and years of work. It's going to be faster, it's going to be easier for you to get really your voice out there as a photographer. This exclusive, one-on-one Q&A has a $499 value. So right now, you get the Institute, you get the forum, you get the Q&A, it's $4,297 value. Just to give you a point of comparison, when I do a workshop in Paris, it's $6,500 for 6 days. So this is already a good deal. Now, I'm not going to charge you $4,297. I want to make this much more affordable. But if I did charge $4,297, and all I did was show you exactly how to create an extraordinary, unique portfolio that will help you get noticed and make money doing what you love, would it be worth it? I'm guessing so. If all this did was to get you a solid portfolio, would it be worth it at $4,297? If all it did was save you thousands of hours in college classroom, would it be worth it? If you didn't have to go to college or private school and be able to be there as an artist, if it can help you stand out, would it be worth $4,297? So, I could have made it cheap. I could have done something very cheap. I wanted something that I could take an exclusive amount of students, a limited amount of students, and give a real one-on-one feedback. So I choose to make it more valuable. So what is it worth to you? Well, what if you were able to create a standard portfolio, and have be really proud? You have a website and you clearly have a voice as an artist. You can show to any galleries, any newspaper, any publisher, any friends, that you could find a way to get noticed on social media. What would be that worth to you? But guys, because you're following me, I'm giving you a special discount. You're here. This has been sent to my core group of followers. And so you're not going to pay $4,297. You're not going to pay $2,999. Today, it's going to be $1,995, where you get access to this online workshop, which takes whatever time it takes. But, so it's 5 payment of $399. But if you get this in the next 15 minutes, and it's got with a 30 days guarantee, you will only pay $1,499. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link, which is going to go down, is only going to be for 15 minutes, is under the video. And Michael, where can you get the link? I'm going to show you. So it's either $2,000, basically $1,995. But if you pay in one-time payment right now in 15 minutes, it's $1,499. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So on the right side of your screen, you're going to see a button that says Claim Mine Now. All you got to do is click that button. It's going to take you directly to a page where you can choose either the 5 monthly payments, or you can save $500 by moving quickly and taking the offer for $14.97 right now. All you gotta do is click the link on the right side of the screen. If you're on YouTube, however, I just put the link in the comments section. So you can click the link on YouTube and you can get this amazing deal right now. And the really cool thing about this, beyond being able to work directly with Serge, beyond getting that mentorship, beyond being able to build that portfolio under Serge's guidance. So, you know, that's the incredible value of this offer. But we've got an amazing bonus for you. You want to tell them about the bonus here?
Yes, just before, I just want to say that I fully guarantee this. So if the photo search of photography doesn't help you create a standard portfolio and get noticed on social media while you make money doing what you love without years of school, technical training, and endless rejection, then I will give you a complete refund. That's how sure I am about it. The real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if it only does half of what I've claimed today, it will pay for itself in less than 30 days. So this is already a really good deal. $1,499. This is something I used to do for $6,000. I'm going to give you, for all the people buying in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you the all my complete Fine Art Academy. It's my 11 best course. Even if you already own this, most of you already own it. If you don't have it, you'll get it. Plus, I'm going to invite you to another Facebook that I do every Wednesday, which is only for people which bought this, where I'm going to retouch your raw file every Wednesday. And that's only, so every Wednesday I go live. It's around 11 o'clock EST time, Florida. You send me the raw files on Dropbox and we retouch them together. So it's another interaction you can do. And so you're going to get the Photo Search Institute of Photography $299. You're going to get the Photo Search Institute Community Forum $799. You're going to get an exclusive monthly Q&A with me, which is $499 value. Total value is $4,297. You're going to get all my complete pack, which is an additional of $3,731. So total value is $8,000. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a system where you will have a direct communication with me using an app called Voxer. The way Voxer works, it's basically like a walkie-talkie. You can leave me a message, and 5 days a week, I will listen to your message, I will answer. Let me give you a little demonstration. So you basically go in the app, and I'll show you exactly how to find me, because it's a special login, and it's only for the people buying this in the next 15 minutes. But basically, you can go on Voxer, and
Hey Serge, my name is Richard. Thank you for taking my question. I have two questions actually. My first question is, what aperture should I use to shoot landscape photography?
So you can just ask me a question. You can ask me a question and I answer it right away. So you leave me a message and I'll leave you a message and and I'll do this at least 5 days or 6 days a week. That's only for people getting it in the next 50 minutes. So you're getting the full Photo Search Institute of Photography, you're getting the Institute Community Forum, you're getting the monthly Q&A. The total value is $8,427. You can get this if you pay one payment, $1,499. You get this everything. Or if you want 5 payments of $399, but that's going to cost you almost $500 more. So get started now.
Again, guys, all you got to do is click on the right side of the screen. If you're on YouTube, I just put the link in the comments section. But if you're here with us in Webinar Jam, all you have to do is click the link on the right side of the screen under the chat, and you can get started today. And again, if you want to save $500, and you can get access immediately. But again, the most important thing to remember here is that you're getting access, direct access to Serge to help you build your portfolio and an incredible body of work. By the time you graduate, not only are you getting the accreditation, you're going to be walking away from this with a portfolio of amazing photography that you're going to be able to use to promote yourself. We have a question here in the chat window. Shannon asked, what I want to do is only sell photos online. Will this help me with that?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so Liesl, for example, who finished, she sells her art, most I think, on Fine Art America. She has a local gallery in Venice, California, Florida, but she also sells on Fine Art America. Most of the sales I actually do online now. They're not done in physical gallery. They're done on yellowcorner.com, on the website. So yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, the whole idea of this is just to get you to come with me on an online workshop. With COVID, it's not really easy to travel. So you can't really go. I can't take you to Paris with me. Most Americans cannot go to, all over Europe. So with this, we can work together. I'm going to give you 33 assignments. I'm going to give you specific videos. And if you mess something up, I'll say, okay, please rewatch that video. That didn't really go well. I really like that. Let's look at a photo. Like, also one thing you should know is, it's not like, Flickr or something where you just post a photo and everybody goes, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I always look what I like about your photo, and then I look how it can be improved, and I also look how you shot it. What was the settings, A lot of people mess it up, settings, too much ISO, lower exposure, not right exposure, underexposed, doing an HDR when it's not needed, not doing an HDR when it's needed, So yeah, basically that's the idea. So we're gonna put the offer on for 15 minutes to get the bonus. The offer is gonna be on for 3 days. You're gonna get 3 different emails with the offer, right? The card's open for days, but if you get in the next 15 minutes, you get all my complete pack, all my best course, and all my best presets, and all my best. It's my bestseller package, and you get one-on-one with me, walkie-talkie app on Voxer. So.
Powerful. So if you're in the field or you need support and you have a direct question, being able to have access to Serge directly is extraordinary. I just wanted to share this real quick. Liesl says being mentored by Serge was the number one thing that helped me become a professional little photographer. It made a huge difference in my career where now I can make a living with my photography. Thank you, Serge. The power of this institute, the power of having all of Serge's courses, all of his presets, all of his profiles, the ability to connect with him directly, the ability to work with him and get live Q&As and get your questions answered, the ability to have a project-based approach where you're actually building a portfolio. So every single assignment is project-based. So you're creating a piece of art with every project, and if it's not up to the right standards, Serge's going to tell you why and how to improve it, how to fix it. So you're going to come back, and that's why you walk away with such an extraordinary portfolio, because every assignment, every project is built, it's designed, it's created to have you walk away with an extraordinary piece of art that you created to build a portfolio that's going to last a lifetime. Exactly.
And and if it doesn't work, if it doesn't work for you and you don't feel you're getting there, I'll just give you your money back. I've been around for 7 years. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a very public person. I've got over 1 million followers. You can fully trust me on this. I do this because I know it can help you. It's going to take work. It's going to take study. It's going to take, you have to, I try to, the way I handle or I do rejection is in a very nice way, because I try to be always positive about the art. I always look what I like about the person's voice, but how can it be improved? That's the whole idea of this workshop. And, it can take the fastest, if you really do it very strongly, it's going to take you a month or two if you're like full-time or part-time on it. If you do, some people take 6 months to do it. I'm going to take a limited amount of people here. You're like some hardcore followers. Believe me, I wish I had this when I started 15 years ago. I promise you, if you're like me and you're passionate about photography, it's going to change your life. Come and get it.
Laura says, how do you figure out what type of brand you want to be when you like all types of photography?
Well, that's the thing is there's usually, I find that people when they, they have mentors, they have people they really like. I'm sure there are photographers that you really like. And there must be something that I'm like you. I'm butterfly everywhere. I love cityscape, landscape. I love taking grids. I love doing film. In fact, right now I'm learning like 4x5 large format film just for the fun of it. I also shoot like with 120 meters film. I do HDR, non-HDR. But, there's always something, my heart was the most was cityscapes, and that's why I did all these books. So when you master the basics of creating an emotional impact, we really can create an emotional impact and you know what you're doing, you will find your voice. Something is going to come up more than another. And if you're really good at portrait and really good at landscape and really good at cityscape, then, and that happens. I know some people which are really multi-tasked. What's funny is like the best portraitists I know in the world are like, I can't do landscape and cityscape. Like Joel Grimes was telling me he was having a really hard time doing like big cityscapes. There was also I forgot his name. Like a couple of people, I was really surprised. That's so good portrait photographer. So you will see what you like the most. This is more cityscape photographer, wildlife cityscape. We don't go so much into portrait. So don't get this if you are like, oh, I only want to do portrait. This is not made for you. But if you like big vistas, landscape, cityscape, even wildlife, if you want to get all the basics of photography, if you want to build a portfolio with me, this is to.
Fantastic. Liesl says, been mentored by Serge was the #1 thing that helped me become a professional level photographer. It made a huge difference in my career, where now I can make a living with my photography. Thank you, Serge. Laura says, how do you figure out what type of, no, sorry. Louise says, how do you post on Instagram from your computer?
Well, there's only one way to it, which I don't, but there's only one way to do it. It's there's one website, which I forgot the name. I have it here. That does that, and it's I don't know how they do it because you're not supposed to per the API, but they're doing it. It's gonna come back to me. Okay,
well, as it does, so we'll get back to that question here in a second.
But you can. There's one software. I'll find it. I haven't used it in a while. I don't recommend it. I find it's better to post through Instagram, and through Preview you can do it. Preview will prepare the post for you. It's really cool, and they'll help you on the hashtag and everything. Preview is a really good app.
Catherine says, I recommend definitely the Institute of Photography. I didn't get my master's yet, but I really learned a lot of things with Serge. Serge changed my life. Catherine says, I live in Paris. Don't hesitate to believe me. Steve says, did you say that if we did it now, we could make 5 payments totaling only $14.97?
Yes. Yeah. So when you click on, go ahead.
Well, not actually. So the original price of everything is $8,000. Today we slashed it to $2,000 for everyone who's here. So you make 5 payments of $399 to pay the $2,000. But if you purchase today, within the next 15 minutes, we're going to take an additional $500 off it for a one-time full payment of $14.97. So you save $500 basically by paying the $14.97 today, and then you get access to everything forever.
Yes.
Shannon says, I work. Is this self-paced?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you basically have a checklist to follow. So you have a video, an exercise, a video. You do it in 5 years. You do it in 2 weeks. It's up to you. I advise you to at least watch. I try to break it down. It's 11 hours of video, and I broke it down in 5 to 10 minutes. So it takes what it takes. It's not magical. You have to work at it, and you have to. But being mentored, taking photos, believe me, is the fastest way to go. I've seen Catherine, she was talking, I've seen her work. I've seen some people going from very average photographer to like, oh my gosh, photographer. I've had people writing me so much like, this has changed my life, you've changed my life. Like, it's funny because I used to be in the business of selling websites to hotels. I never happened to be that, when I would sell a website, somebody said, you changed my life. But on this institute, I have paid workshop that cost $4,000 to $5,000. This is, we're making this, as low as possible so you can get it. I have 5 people helping me on this, so you can get it for $1,499 if you pay within the next 50 minutes. It is one of the best deals you can get on web. And if it doesn't work for you, I will give you your money back. I have not refunded one person yet. The only person I've ever refunded, he hasn't started. So I'm hoping you're going to like that.
Liesl says, only Pult for IG on the computer. To post an IG from the computer, also you can open IG on your computer, then go to developer, user agent, and then click on phone to see your IG account as a phone. Then you can post from your computer.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't know that.
Shannon says, thank you. Congratulations, Shannon, and welcome.
Yeah, we have a lot of people coming in. I see it. A lot of people come in. Guys, you're going to love this. Get it in these 15 minutes. I repeat, if you get in 15 minutes, you get $500 off. You get all my courses, my complete course. You get all my presets, all my profiles. And you get the Voxer app where we can, on a day-to-day basis if you want to, where I can walk you through. I made it so we could talk. Leave me a message. I can leave you a message. It doesn't get as much personal, as more one-on-one than this. We meet every Wednesday. I retouch your photos. Once a month, we meet on the business side of things for $1,499. It's really a great deal. Get it now. You'll love it. And if you don't, I'll give you your money back.
Oriel says, do you have time to get in touch with each and every student?
Well, I don't, not everybody comes on this. It's still an exclusive thing. And yes, I do. It's the main thing that I do. People leave me messages, but I'm fast. I can handle 10, 20, 30 messages in a day, no problem. So yes, the answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah, and again, guys, this is an exclusive offer. So for those of you, you're basically stepping into Serge's VIP inner circle. Like, this is the most access you can possibly get to Serge at any given moment, and he's offering the ability to actually communicate with him 5 days a week. So you are in great company, you're in great hands when you get started with this today. Again, 30-day money back guarantee, so you have absolutely no risk, nothing to lose, everything to gain. I mean, the amount of people who have come out of this training and now have a body of work, are now more passionate about what they are doing than they ever done in their life. People who have had a hobby and now have a business. People who are just interested in creating the most impressive art they can to put on their own walls or to share with friends. This is for you. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. You can spend $20,000, $30,000 going to college, or you can take this offer, walk in and walk out with an extraordinary portfolio of your own artwork built from your own style by working with Serge today. Laura says, in this bundle, do you teach editing skills in Lightroom and Photoshop? My editing skills aren't where I want them to be.
Yes, that's the main focus. We cover Lightroom, we cover Photoshop, we cover even Photoshop Elements, we cover even Luminar, whatever the tool you want to have. Lightroom and Photoshop being, the most used for sure. So, yes, the answer is 100% yes. And it's streaming. You can also download the videos. You can, if you're commuting, so you can go at your own pace, offline. We made it as easy as possible. This is a great opportunity. I'm not going to take people forever, but believe me, it's going to change your life. If you are traveling, if you're not happy with your photos or your post-processing, or you're not happy that you're not getting recognized for who you are, and you want to make a living or just want to get more published, let me help you build this portfolio. You'll see it's really cool. It's going to take work from your hand. It's not like, you just pay and it's good. You're going to have to work at it, but if you do work at it, you're going to get a great result.
Roland says, going through cancer treatment, would love to do it, but most of your other tutorials, and I love your teaching tutorials. Roland, we're thinking about you, man, so I'm so sorry to hear that.
Sorry.
Kathy says, thank you, Liesl. I'm excited. This was a private comment. How long is the training? I missed a huge portion. Is this $1,000 per month?
No, it's a one-time payment. One-time payment, if you get in the next 15 minutes, $1,499. No recurring payment, one-time payment. It takes what it takes. You take 2 years to do it, you take 2 weeks. The average would take about 3 to 4 months. It's work. I'm not gonna lie, but it's good and it's easy and it's accessible and it's gonna change your life if you're like me and you like photography. It's a one-time payment only, and it's normally $2,000. You basically get $500 off if you get it in the next 15 minutes. In the next 3 days, you'll still be able to get it at $2,000, but you won't be able to get the bonus, which is $500. All my complete pack courses, a lot of you, I've sent this offer to people which bought a lot of courses from me, so I believe you already have that. But you also get access to with this app called Voxers. It's really cool, where we can talk every day if you want to. I don't want to disturb you too much either, but I want to build the portfolio of your dream. I want to get you, I think as a being, our goal is to create art and to create, and to create beauty, and give you the tools to be able to do this. For the price of a good lens, you're going to get a private workshop that will take you months. From somebody's work is in galleries and it's published 7 books. It's pretty cool, no? It's a lot cheaper than anything you can find out there.
Richard says, can you advise on a secondhand camera or lens sites that, since I have blown my budget on the course?
Well, I would go, if I were to go secondhand, I think if you like portrait, I would get the Canon 6D Mark II secondhand. If you like landscape and cityscape, I would get like a Sony 7R or Sony A7, 1 or 2. They go for less than $1,000 now, even like $600-700 with an entry lens. Sony is really good. They have a better dynamic range than Canon, so for sunset, it's way better. And mirrorless is the future, guys. In case you're wearing mirrorless versus DSLR, mirrorless is lighter. Mirrorless has focus peaking, which is amazing. Focus peaking is you can see in real time with colors what's in focus, what's not in focus. You can see your exposure in real time. It shows you the photo before you take it, which you don't have on DSLR. You get a whole bunch of apps, you know, like on the Sony 7R II, there used to be this smooth reflection app where you could do lone exposure without any filters. And so you could do lone exposure with sunset without getting any color cast, or any lens flare. It's amazing. Yeah, and you get sharper photos because you don't have the mirror going up and down. So if you can go mirrorless, the world is going mirrorless. That's what I advise.
That's the direction.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see. Michael, I just signed up. I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Serge. Welcome, Michael. Ben News says, hello, Serge. What is the picture profile settings you're using to get stunning images?
The picture profile, so just so you know, picture profile don't really matter. It's just for the preview of your back camera. But if you want to know, I use Vivid because I'm all about Vivid photos. I use Vivid on most of the profiling, but I shoot RAW. So when you shoot RAW, what's going to happen is when you put into Lightroom, that profile, Vivid, sometimes will just get applied. Boom, we'll get there, but you can just change it afterwards.
Yoel says, bravo, Serge. Superb success story. Your photos are awesome. Ralph says, hello from Brisbane, Arizona. Hello, Ralph. Michael says, I just signed up and I'm very excited. Michelle, I just got it too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, a lot of people signing up, guys. I'm very happy.
Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. You guys are going to really enjoy working directly
Yes.
with Serge. I mean, it's a life changer. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yes.
So, you know, if you're a passionate hobby photographer, if you want to start a business, whatever you're looking to accomplish, Serge has been there and done that. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's this idea that if you spend all of this time trying to learn everything on your own versus just working with somebody who's been there before you, you're going to save thousands of hours. You're going to save years building a portfolio and creating something that you're incredibly proud of. So if you are ready to get started today, all you got to do is click the button on the bottom right side of the screen. If you're on YouTube, I put the link in the comments section. You will have to copy and paste that and put it in, but you'll have two options. One is to get this at a dramatically reduced rate. The entire retail value is $8,000. You're going to get it today for $2,000, just 5 payments of $399, 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Or you can get this $8,000 offer for $1,500, a one-time payment. All you got to do is click that button and you can get started immediately. Richard says, thank you, useful advice. Mohammed says, what's your favorite camera and lens, Serge?
So my favorite camera and lens, my heart goes between two cameras. Actually, let me show you. I'm going to show you all my favorite camera and lenses while we're here, since this is live. So the main camera that I work with is a Sony a7R III, and that's a 24-105. That's what I did like my last 2 book with. That's the thing. Right now, I'm trying out a new camera, which I love, which is a medium format camera from Fuji. Very affordable. It's a $3,000 medium format. The sensor is so big. Let me show you the sensor. It's just huge. Well, look at the size of the sensor. It's a huge sensor, medium format. And so I just came back from 2.5 months shooting with it. And the colors, it's mainly for the colors. The resolution is, but the colors are quite surprising. And I'm also shooting with this film camera, which is a Mamiya 7 II, which is like a 30 years old camera with film. So, and I'm shooting also a lot with my iPhone. That's a big camera. So that's all my favorite cameras that I use today.
What version of iPhone do you have?
iPhone 11 Max Pro. I was trying to get the iPhone 12, but couldn't get it yet, the Pro. I use so much the iPhone that it's worse for me investing into the. I'm a big fan. Like I shoot almost all my tutorials with the iPhone. I find it's better quality than other cameras. It's really good. I'm a big fan.
What about Samsung? Samsung has some great cameras and headphones too, right?
Samsung cameras, they have good phones, but yeah, they have good phones camera, but they don't do cameras. I don't think so.
The Samsung Galaxy has.
Yeah, Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, but it's a phone. Or a tablet. It's not like a camera like this.
Right. No, I was comparing the iPhone.
Oh yeah. Samsung is great, much cheaper. I'm an Apple fan. I know I shouldn't be, some people, but I'm an Apple fan. That's all.
I am too. I'm stuck in the Apple.
Yeah, I'm in the Apple cult. I'm a member.
Liesl says, I majored in art in college, took a photography class, but learned much more about artistry from Serge's training. Greetings from Russia. Thank you, Master. Hello from Nepal. Mohammed says, I want to join the thing. Is it where I live? If with current traveling restrictions, I won't be able to take the landscape, but I can travel within the country. I can get some awesome pictures. Any suggestions?
Yes, one thing that some people do that can't travel, you can also go back to some of the old raw files and we can retouch them together. And I hope you will be able to travel more and more, and if we have to wait for some of the assignment, then we'll have to wait. But let me tell you a couple of more stories. Like Charlie Simon, he's a photographer from Marbella. He was a golf player and he was really being bored. He was pretty okay as a golf player, but he really wanted something else in his life. And I've coached him. He now is one of the biggest real estate photographer in Marbella. In fact, he's so big that he has 7 photographers. In fact, he's so big now that I'm producing a tutorial with him that he's gonna, because he does stuff that I've not even done. Tim Shield. Tim Shield is a Canadian who was selling T-shirts when I met him. He's now a full-time photographer, fine art photographer. I really got him into the business. He's now a teacher me. Awesome guy. He was one of the most awarded photographer. Hannes Koning from Strasbourg. He has a company where he sells herbs, but he sold $15,000 worth of fine art last year. He needs to do more and more. So many people, police officers, which resigned to become a photographer. A lot of them, computer people, and also people which are retired, which were just struggling with their post-processing and now are like getting published in magazines. So, guys, get this deal. If it doesn't work for you, I will refund you, but please give it a chance. Get this, study this. We only have 5 more minutes left. We're going to take just a few more people. This is really an amazing deal. I've never done it at this with all of that.
Will there be a replay of this webinar? I'd like to know.
Yes, you will get an email with the replay and the offer, but you won't have the bonus. You won't have the 500. You won't have the bonuses. The bonuses is for people getting the deal right now. We got 5 more minutes, guy. You're gonna love this.
Liesl says you can do the assignments out of order in the institute.
Yeah, you can. Oh yeah, you don't. I mean, I made them, from a specific gradient, but you can let's say you don't have. There's one assignment, for example, is to do a sunrise, and you don't have the courage to get up for a sunrise for a week or two. You can skip that one and just do the sunset or the golden hour, the blue hour, But you will see, it's kind of cool.
Fantastic. Let's see. All right, so again, guys, if you want to get this deal, all you gotta do is click the bottom right button on your screen. Go ahead and get started today. Again, if you would like to save $500, if you would like to get started instantly and immediately, all you gotta do is click that button, and we will get you going. You're gonna get all of the bonuses that we discussed today. You're gonna get the training with Serge, you're going to get the access to Serge on the Voxer app, which is incredible. And if you're somebody who's passionate about really taking your art or your business to the next level, this is going to save you years of time and save you thousands of dollars. And it's the way to go. Exactly.
Guys, we're going to close this up in 3 minutes. So if you didn't get it before the next 3 minutes. As long as that window is open, you can get it. You'll also get the offer, but if you want to get the bonus, get it now. And do you have more questions for me, Michael, before we wrap up?
Okay, we've got one more question here. We have no option for online payment from Nepal, so please suggest for purchase your various bundles for photography.
I'm not sure how to answer that, to be honest.
You can. Serge does have a YouTube channel, so if you're unable to purchase today and you want to learn from Serge, just go check out. Go check out Photo Serge on YouTube. He's been doing free content for years, and 99.9% of all Serge's content is free. For those of you who want to take it to the next level, this is the opportunity for you. Roland says, guys, always enjoy Serge. Thank you so much, Roland. Any other final questions before we wrap up? If not, all you gotta do is click the link on the bottom right side of the screen.
Yes.
And you can get started today. Some of you have messaged me privately asking some specific questions that you didn't want public. I have responded to those privately. So if you have any other questions, feel free to email support, write this down, support, SUPPORT, at photoserge.com. That's PHOTOSERGE.com.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on YouTube.
Yeah, and just some final clarity from another private message that somebody sent. If I select the monthly payment option, do I still get the discount? All you have to, you get the discount
Yes.
from $8,000 to $2,000, but if you want the deep discount, the further discount,
Yeah.
you pay a one-time payment of $14.97, and that is that.
All right.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys.